Have you ever wished for an animated series that follows the trials and tribulations of growing up from the perspective of a hot dog? Of course not, you aren't a maniac. But that's also why you probably aren't an exec over at Nick. Nickelodeon and Netflix have joined forces to give the world Pinky Malinky, a new cartoon about a hot dog boy, his boundless optimism, and the wacky antics he and his pals get into. With this premiere season, Netflix is dishing out 28 episodes all in 12-minute servings. But is this a tasty Hebrew national of a show, or a Dodger dog that's gonna definitely give you the streaming equivalent of salmonella? Let's find out!
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, for Nerdwire, I'm Kris Carr, and this is Nerdflicks and Chill, giving you a taste before you binge. As always, I'll keep from revealing any huge spoilers from you without giving a fair warning. Although, let's be real, Pinky Malinky is a pretty low-stakes show in terms of big plot twists. Unless we ever find out how Pinky got those bandages. Oh, who hurt you, Pinky? As I mentioned, Pinky Malinky is a hot dog with a cheery disposition.
They're gonna have to be like me. Ambitious, positive, a dreamer.
He's a hot dog with human parents. His Frankenfurter state is due to a genetic mutation. He's basically the most useless, but most delicious X-Men. Pinky lives in a town called Sackenhack and appears to be making some sort of internet documentary with his friends Babs and JJ Jameson, who I'm very displeased with isn't single-mindedly trying to get pictures of Spider-Man. JJ does, however, have an obsession with Pinky's mom.
Oh, Mom. I love your mom. I love her.
Seriously, JJ is a freak.
He's got a lovely, mature lady in his life. You left me? Babs, what am I gonna do?
Pinky, JJ made me pretend to be your mom's fake son online.
Pinky's character has been really well established. He's well-meaning, misguided, and often unaware of the consequences of his actions until it's just a little too late. Babs and JJ, however, haven't been fleshed out as well. We know JJ tries to act cool and is hot for Pinky's mom, and Babs, though the voice of responsibility, is often giggly and goofy. Despite this lack of development, the trio has tremendous chemistry and work really well together. Now, in my opinion, the mockumentary style has been done to death, but in animated form, well, at least this one, I wasn't particularly bothered by it. It seems to work as a narrative device. You've got those talking head interviews, the camera wobbling every now and then, and I mean, why wouldn't the internet want to watch videos about a living hot dog? Note to self, more wieners equals more subscribers. Yes. Pinky even does the occasional Jim Halpert deadpan to the camera. I was left wondering, who the heck was filming this for Pinky though? Like, obviously he's aware of his own sort of YouTube channel, this isn't the Truman Show, but who is his camera guy? While every episode is a self-contained story, which is pretty typical of cartoons, the show follows a more unique approach to its formula than other animated series. Each episode opens with a sketch, we've got a one-off story, and then the episode is closed out by another quick sketch, making for easily digestible content that gives you some weird #random comedy bits and a life lesson from a story with actual real-life consequences, despite them happening to a meat stick.
Sackenhack Junior High is the greatest school because it's got the greatest people. And I've got to remember not to forget about those people's feelings.
I mean, I felt personally called out by the Perfect Video episode.
We're striving for perfection here.
Sure, Pinky. It'll probably kill me, but if that's what you want.
Love what I'm hearing, JJ.
It's like they've been watching Nerdwire behind the scenes. Honestly, the series feels a lot like the wrap-up of Captain Planet, The World of Gumball, and SpongeBob SquarePants all made a baby. Tales of morality, with mixed media, current animation styling, and a general tone, pace, and humor that feels really reminiscent of those shows for me. Now this is the part where a bunch of you are gonna keyboard warrior in the comments and be like, why do you have to compare this to other shows? Why? Judge it on its own merit. Alright, it's a litmus test, you nerf herders. You hate those shows? You probably won't like this. Durr. And it totally makes sense to compare it to Gumball. Pinky Malinky was created by Gumball writer and storyboard artist Chris Carr, and I love his style. I think both the art and writing are bombastic and kept me invested in viewing. I also sincerely appreciate that the storytelling doesn't feel like it's talking down to viewers ever. There's plenty of jokes for the Y7 crowd and political digs and innuendos for the older crowd. I'm also happy to report that the show never swings into full mania, bombarding viewers with the insane possibilities of the life of this hot dog. It's pretty grounded.
So this is my second entry to my grounded diary.
Which is weird to say about a show about an animated talking hot dog boy. So, tune in or tune out. I'd say for fans of Nicktoons or Cartoon Network originals, this one is definitely for you. Me? It was just sort of okay. I wish I felt more strongly about it. And it definitely had moments where it really sang for me. But I also recognize this isn't 100% geared towards me. As I mentioned earlier, Season 1 is 28 12-minute long episodes. So the whole thing clocks in at about a 6-hour watch time. I just don't know if I'd sit down and watch all of this at once. But I'd definitely tune into it if I was hanging out with my little cousin Bella. And that makes sense. The show is aimed for 7 and up, not millennial YouTube hosts. I do think it's one of those rare shows that bridges the age gap fairly successfully and creates content that's palatable for all ages. It has that right blend of zany humor, interesting characters, music that all make an animated series sing. It just doesn't have enough for me. I'll recommend it to my friends who decide to have kids instead of growing up to be a professional child. Haha, wrong choice, buds. That being said, I really do enjoy our lead character. It's nice to see a show about positivity, optimism, and making your home and school a better place. Pinky is definitely a dude worth watching and learning from. Plus, they depict cats as they should be depicted.
Good night, sweet kitty.
They're agents of Satan. I just truly think this show needed time to percolate, which is crazy because boy did it get extra time. The show was announced back in 2015 and kept getting pushed. While this doesn't affect the plot points too much, for example, several episodes are focused on technology, but it's classic things like parents don't get how to work the old internet box. The series does feel like it's focused so much on the style over the substance of the show. Most of these episodes aren't anything new. They're just being told in a new, gimmicky way. And don't get me wrong, the gimmick works. I just wonder if more time was focused on establishing Pinky's surrounding friends and family, if I would have loved this show more. Maybe it's like the first seasons of The Office or Parks and Rec, our most beloved of the mockumentary style. These shows took a season or two to find their stride, find their characters' voices, and really develop a plot around that. That could be a big ask of a 12-minute episode to nail, but it seems like the sort of ambitious goal the creators had in mind. If you're interviewing characters, it means those characters need to be worth interviewing. Not just for the punchline of a joke, but for who they are and where they stand in the context of Pinky's latest mishap. Time will tell if the setup pays off. I'm also left wondering if this is a show that would have been better received on Nickelodeon rather than a streaming service. Much like one of my fave shows of 2018, Cupcake and Dino, this is a non-plot driven cartoon, and it feels like bulk releases of such don't serve the series well. Despite getting rave reviews from notable critics like the New York Times and schlubs like me, Cupcake and Dino didn't seem to find or hook a wide audience like a serialized series. Perhaps one-offs are better if you can only access them as a standard, once-a-week time, so you don't get burnt out by a formula. Of course, this is just one gal's opinion, and as always, I want to know what y'all thought of the show. Do you think you should binge or bail on Pinky Malinky? Let me know down below. For more reviews, click to the left of my face, or you can check us out on a bigger screen by streaming Nerdwire on Roku or Plex. Thanks for watching, and as always, please remember, all things in moderation, except your shows.